23 ABC's Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show, presented by Sangara Subaru, starts now.
Hello and welcome into the 2019 Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. We are ready to give you an hour-long coverage of the best of Kern County football. I'm Carrie Osep alongside Matt Lively.
Guys, I'm so excited to be here. Kern County football, it's best it's been in a long time, and Carrie and I are excited to bring it all to you in this next hour.
A lot of action coming your way, but of course, before we get into the 2019 season, we got to take a little recap to the 2018 season and look at the top teams from around the county last year and the ones that made the biggest push in postseason.
In 2018, 20 Kern County teams earned a chance at a postseason run, but through the CIF Central Section playoffs, only 4 local teams reached the Valley Championships. In Division I, the Liberty Patriots grabbed the league title in a defensive battle with Bakersfield at the end of the regular season, then sought redemption on Buchanan in the semifinals to reach the title game, where they fell short against Central, the team that knocked out BHS in the quarterfinals. The Patriots finished with a 12-2 overall record. In Division III, Bakersfield Christian Eagles followed up another undefeated league run under Darren Carr, taking home the SYL title and then earning a spot in the Central Section Championship against top-seeded San Joaquin Memorial, where they end a 9-4 overall season, a win shy of a state playoff berth. In Division V, the county was treated with a league title rematch game featuring Shafter and Kennedy. The Thunderbirds righted their wrongs, beating the Generals on their turf 30-28 after losing the league championship in the regular season finale. Kennedy became the only Kern County team to play in a SoCal regional game, facing Garfield High School in Los Angeles. The Thunderbird season came to an end, but not after sealing a historic season behind Mario Millon's leadership, who took a talented team to a 13-2 season, ending with a Valley Championship and a shot at reaching a state final, all in his first year as the Thunderbirds head coach.
So, of course, you get a great look there at the 2018 season, and we're going to start our show off with that head coach of the Kennedy Thunderbirds, Mario Millon. And, Coach, you couldn't hear it, but we were just going through that season that you had, a miraculous season in 2018 that ended in that state SoCal regional. Take me through that if you can. How can you remember that season? How can you put it into words?
Well, that group came in as freshmen, and we knew back then they were going to be a great group. They were going to put the work in, needed to be successful. And as they kind of grew as a program, we all grew together, and I became the head coach last year. And those guys were, they had a mission, and their mission was to go to state, and they wanted to win state. And so, from the very beginning, we knew what we needed to get done. And those guys took care of business. They took care of business in the classroom. Great student athletes, great kids, hard workers. And so we make sure we had, as the year went on, we started off 8-0, had a stumbling block with Shafter, and Shafter got us pretty good and made us better. So we were able to come back from that, become better, and overall just run the table after that.
Absolutely, and it was fun to kind of join you on that journey. But again, this year you have some returners, but maybe you're losing some of the big names from last year. But what can you say about the guys that are coming back in 2019?
I think we're more of a blue-collar group this year. In the past, we've had kids that could it was a track team, and they were fast. And these guys they're not fast, but they're hard workers. They've been successful since they were freshmen, so they know how to win, and they know how to work. And they're a very humble group, but they're a very hard-working group. So we will be different, but I think these guys are going to bring a lot of success to the table also.
All right, well, to turn to your players real quickly here, we have Anthony, one of the seniors on the team. And Anthony, what can you say about this group to have you guys push even further and maybe go after that league title this year?
Well, this group has been successful, and since we came in as freshmen, and we're trying to carry that on into this season. We don't have the speedsters as last year, and we know since January we've been working hard in the weight room, and we're trying to have much more success than last year.
Awesome, thank you so much. And your fellow teammate here, another senior, Ricardo, if you can just tell me, what do you hope for your senior season to do with the Thunderbirds?
We're full of a lot of underclassmen, and I'm just really wishing that they could pull through and pull that weight and fulfill the expectations that we set last year. Yeah, that's what
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. You can see it with this team. A lot of humility with the Thunderbirds, but they did some big things in 2018. We can expect some big things in 2019. But before we get further along the show, we're going to tell you about some of our teams and the schedules and how they kick off the season next year. Matt, can you start us off in the South Sequoia League?
Yeah, of course. Everybody wants to know the schedule schedules, and everybody wants to know who's playing who. So we'll start with the South Sequoia League, and we'll start with Kennedy Thunderbirds, all those teams. And of course, let's take a look at them now. South Sequoia, Arvin's going to be at Highland, Foothill at Kennedy, Tehachapi at Wasco, Shafter at Miramonte, Chavez at Delano, Taft at Kern Valley, and McFarland at Avenel. Those all starting at 7:30. And just a correction, that is the South Sequoia League. And then for the Southeast Yosemite League, we have North at Centennial, Independence at South, and East at Golden Valley.
And then we're going to move our way into the Southwest Yosemite League. Of course, we have BHS, where we are live now. They're at Calabasas for their first game. And then the Mission Bowl is going to be Garces at Bakersfield Christian. Liberty's going to be on the road at Paso Robles, Frontier at St. Bonaventure, and Ridgeview will be playing at Stockdale. And then moving on to the South Yosemite League, we got to see what those teams are playing already. But of course, the West Vikings, they're getting going tonight on the road at Mission Oak. That game will start at 7 o'clock. And to round us out, we're going to look at our outlier teams and talking about the Kern Valley Broncs. They're hosting at 7 on Friday. Delano will host the Titans at the same time. Boron at Silver Valley. Cal City versus Lindsay, and Burroughs at Legacy in Vegas. We got a lot of games to get to, as you all know, and of course we can't wait for those games. But first, we got a lot of action, right, coming up?
Oh yeah, you don't want to go anywhere. We have all these teams from around Kern County. You can hear the band, you can see the players. Don't go anywhere. It's a party right here at Bakersfield High School.
Yeah, and everybody, we just talked to the Thunderbirds, but we're going to look at the South Sequoia League and see the under contenders in the SSL. That will be when we return. But taking us out to break, we're going to take a look at the Kennedy Thunderbird cheerleaders, what you're going to be seeing on the sidelines this season. Welcome back to the Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. Before the break, we were talking to the Kennedy Thunderbirds, but we do know that the South Sequoia League boasts a lot of contenders, and they're going to be fighting with the T-Birds this year to try to get that league title. And now we're going to toss it over to Matt, who has a look at the SSL. Matt?
Yeah, Carrie, if the Thunderbirds want to get back to that Valley title game, it's not going to be a cakewalk. In fact, it was the Shafter Generals who won the South Sequoia League last year, and there are plenty of other good teams in this league. Let's take a look at the South Sequoia League. The league champion Shafter Generals ended their season with heartbreak, but still came away with 12 wins, the best under head coach Gerald Perucci. The Generals ended their season with a loss to Kennedy in the playoffs to close out their season. Overall, they went 1-1 against the Thunderbirds in 2018, but a win this year would be sweet revenge.
When you lose to somebody in a big game like that, in the fashion that we lost, of course, there's going to be some bad blood, I guess, and it's not that we're not like the Dodgers versus the Giants, but it's something where you want to make sure that you can perform your best when you see them the next time you get to see them.
McFarland High had a historic 2018 that included hosting their first ever playoff game. Coach Casey Quinn doubled the program size with new kids and plenty of coaching additions. The Cougars will face tough league play in the South Sequoia, but their players are still holding each other to high expectations.
My expectation just for our team to play as best as we could and hopefully get a playoff win this year. The senior season is to win a Valley Championship, but I say just get a playoff win and go from there.
Things have been hot and cold ever since George Falgett took over in 2015 for Taft High. The Wildcats won 15 combined games over his first 2 seasons, but in the last 2 years, just 4 wins. This year, the head ball coach is preaching the importance of battling each other.
Our whole thing this year is to instill that competition to where we're competing every single practice, we don't like to say starters or stuff like that because we want them to continue to compete and work for that chance Friday night.
Cesar Chavez has a team with young talent, but last season they didn't have the record to show for it. Cameron Huerta, the Titans' junior quarterback, is one of the playmakers that head coach Jesse Ortega is leaning on in 2019. He accounted for 11 all-purpose touchdowns in his sophomore year and has big plans for his junior season.
I just want to convert every single down, get to the end zone every single, I don't want to have any, just to make it simple, I don't want to get stopped. I want to just powerhouse all the way through.
Wasco High School had their most successful season since 2014 in head coach Chad Martinez's second year. The Tigers went 9-4 and were a game away from the D4 Valley Championship. Coach Martinez wants that same level of success and a bit more in 2019.
Be Shafter, win league, win Valley, win state. We keep our eye on the prize, but we keep it in perspective. So we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We keep our goals in that order. So we're just going to keep getting after it as much as we can and just, hey, take it one game at a time. But no, we do have long-term goals.
Arvin High School is coming off a 7-5 season and a run to the D5 quarterfinals. Participation numbers are down for the Bears when it comes to football, leaving the varsity squad with just 25 players on the roster for 2019.
Our kids are going to have to be tough. They're going to have to be in condition. And we're going to have to get a little lucky and not get injured. Sometimes it's easier to tap out when you know you have somebody behind you that can step in. And in this case, they're going to be asked to be a little bit more mentally tough. And they maybe not going to be able to tap out.
And now I'm joined by the Arvin Bears. And, Coach, you had told me, Coach Edgar Mares, the longest tenured head coach in Kern County at one school. And, Coach, you had told me at your practice, these guys they're not going to be able to tap out because you have a smaller roster that year. How have they been adapting to that?
Well, we've been pushing them during conditioning, and they've kind of fought us on it a little bit. But I think they're starting to realize that in order to play 4 quarters of ball, and if they're going to have to be playing both ways, they're going to need to be in shape. So they've been buying in, and they've been working really hard.
And obviously, you've been around Kern County for a long time now, starting in the early 2000s at Arvin. What do you look forward to this year? How has this entire league changed?
Well, you know, when we first started out, we used to have Tehachapi in our league, and at one time even Garces was in our league. And then Bakersfield Christian, most recently, they left. But now, you know, we have the Delano schools, and, it's just I think it's a better league as far as little town schools, you know. We have Taft, we have Arvin, we have Shafter, we have Kennedy, we have Chavez, Wasco. You know, it's just a better fit for this.
Better talent. So let's ask some of your players. We've got Enrique and Gil. Guys, having a small roster, how have you adapted to that?
We've been conditioning harder than we have ever since we've started this season. We can't tap out. We have to keep on going. If any of us get hurt, any bumps or bruises, we still have to get back in and do our practices.
Yeah, so obviously no injuries, hopefully. And then Gil, with the Thunderbirds in your league, how much hungrier does it make you to win a Valley title?
We put up a good fight against them last year in the playoffs, and I hope we get another shot at that. I want to show them that we can put up a match. We're not gonna give them an easy win.
All right, that's the Arvin Bears. They are going to be starting their season off tomorrow. Back to you, Carrie.
Thank you, Matt, for that. And we have plenty of action and teams to get to. But coming up next, we're going to be talking about the biggest storyline ahead of this football season, and that's going to be in the Southwest Yosemite League. And there's a reason we're here at Griffith Stadium. So continue to stay tuned here. We're going to keep the show rolling. But taking us out of break, we're going to toss it over to the Garces Rams. Check out what those cheerleaders are going to be showing on the sidelines this season. Welcome back to the Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. Of course, we have the drillers behind me. We're going to get to them, but before that, of course, the Southwest Yosemite League is having a lot of shakeups at the coaching position. We have a longtime driller coach moving over to the Garces Rams, and of course, Michael Stewart is coming in to change things around for the drillers, but keeping the tradition alive. But we're going to take a look at the Southwest Yosemite League. Here they are.
Liberty claimed the Southwest Yosemite League title in a tight matchup against Bakersfield in 2018, but fell in the Valley Championship to Central. And now with a new starting quarterback in Hayden Mann, the Patriots are hungry to seek redemption in the Central Sectionals.
I think it's always motivation because it's always your goal, right? I mean, your goal is always to win a Valley title and get to play late in December. So I think everybody talks about it. And I think the thing that's going to be big for us is, do we act on that?
They know how it tastes. No one likes to lose. So hopefully we come out very eager to play and win every game and go and win that Valley and State.
Stockdale had a bounce-back year in 2018 and already has an obstacle to start off the season to come back from in 2019, losing dual-threat quarterback Evan Burkhart to an ACL injury in the offseason. But he'll still be on the sidelines coaching up his teammates.
It's a hard spot to fill because Evan set the bar so high, but I feel like we have the potential on this team to fill his spot.
His leadership is incredible, the positive atmosphere that he still brings. So for these guys to see him taking adversity in stride and just getting stronger, I mean, these guys don't take things for granted anymore. So He's a special kid.
The Titans know just how tough the SWYL is, as they were unable to come away with a league win in 2018. With some shakeups in the league this season, Frontier has a chance to make some moves, especially with the return of the big guys up front.
We got a lot of guys coming back in those positions, which we're excited about, and just being more physical and kind of being a little bit nasty up front and getting after people. We want kids that are all in about each other, not themselves, all in about the team.
One of 3 coaching changes in the Southwest Yosemite League is at Centennial, as the Golden Hawks add Coach Starrett by way of Texas, who is bringing a whole new energy and mantra to the G-Hawks, even creating a hashtag for social media, the Golden Era.
You come in somewhere new, and that is an advantage I have. In this town, I am new, I'm completely new. I get to run out here with an accent, and so social media is huge with kids these days. And so I just wanted to build something that's a little different to give these guys an identity. And it really doesn't mean anything other than this is the new Centennial football squad.
The biggest storyline this season is head coach Paul Gola moving on from Bakersfield over to league rival Garces, bringing a successful coaching resume to the Rams and enjoying the change in atmosphere after 14 years at the same school.
Starting over with philosophies and having a group of coaches and players buy into each other, and it's been fun. It's been a very quick process. So we really believe in our kids, and I believe the kids believe in us.
Wrapping up the SWYL is Bakersfield, who welcomes in former driller Michael Stewart as their new head coach. Not an easy transition, but one the players have bought into as they'll look to beef up things on both sides of the ball in 2019.
Our defense this year is going to be way more hard-hitted. It's going to be a lot of more pressure. It's just our defense is different this year, but it's a good different.
I don't know how teams honestly are going to be able to stop this offense. We have great receivers, a great running back, and I don't know what you're going to be able to do to stop them both.
You can hear that confidence there with the Drillers, and now I'm joined live by Bakersfield High School, of course, the new head coach, Michael Stewart. Coach, thank you so much for joining us and letting us kind of take over the house a little bit tonight. And I got to ask you, what has it been like to be back here at Griffith Field? You were once a Driller, now you're coaching the Drillers.
Well, it's been a great time, just get back in town and get to be here at Bakersfield High, my alma mater. Did a lot of work out here on this field behind me, but more importantly, it's with the guys that we're coaching.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the guys, so let's get to them. I'm joined here with 3 Drillers. We're going to start over here with Nick. And Nick, so not to put you on the spot, your head coach is right here, but what has it been like having Stewart teaching you guys and coaching you guys up this off season?
Well, I think that it's an amazing experience because when it comes to new coaches, I believe that everything changes, and change could either be good. So I think right now it's good, and I think that I'm just excited to see what he can do for our team.
Absolutely, and there's going to be a lot of attention on the Drillers, as there always is, Makai, but for you guys, you're always successful. You're doing a lot of great things on the football field, but what do you hope to do this year in 2019?
Well, I just hope that our team just go out there and ball out, do as best as we could, and execute anything that would come on our path.
And you're going to be doing some damage on defense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to finish out here with another senior, Mario. Mario, also on defense. This guy right next to you, he had some experience in the league. What has he been able to bring to you guys with that experience, and how has that helped you so far?
Well, what he's brought is just a lot, well, how can I say, just as you explained it, just a lot of experience, so it just helps us really. He brings us like a new fundamental to the table that we couldn't really get with Coach Gola, because he knows how to get there and how to get the job done, so that's all we can really say.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mario. Thank you guys for joining me right now. But of course, go Drillers, that's why we hear it. But of course, guys, coming up this season, all eyes are going to be on Week 7 when the Drillers meet up with the Garces Rams. Of course, that storyline with Paul Gola heading over to Garces. And with that, I'm going to toss it back to the station with Josh Sanders, who's standing by with some of those Rams. Josh?
Yeah, Carrie, from Bakersfield High School to Garces High School, a lot changing for the Rams this coming season as former head coach for the Drillers, Paul Gola, now head coach for the Rams. And of course, the Rams going 4-8 last season, but Paul Gola bringing a winning record, 14 seasons with the Drillers, 128-50. Now going to be a Ram going forward. So again, a lot changing, hopefully bringing that winning mentality to the Rams. I'm with the cheer squad right now. Give it up for the cheer squad. And let me bring in 2 of those cheerleaders. Let me bring in junior McKenna Braun and senior Alexia Julius. Okay, Alexia, you're the senior. Tell us, how excited are you for this upcoming season?
I'm so excited. There's so much hype on campus with new cheer coaches, new football coaches. The energy is really there and the anticipation's there for this season.
Yeah, 4-8, a lot of anticipation for Paul Gola now, the new head coach coming in. McKenna, what do you think as a junior going forward? Are you excited about this season?
I'm so excited. You know, our whole squad is like a family, and there's so much spirit throughout everyone, and I'm just so super excited for this year.
Good. I love that. Guys, thank you so much. Again, give us a cheer real quick. These are the Garces Rams cheer squad. They're very excited. Again, going to be a brand new season for the Rams, especially when it comes to the new head coach, Paul Gola, bringing that winning record, hopefully, that he had with the Drillers over 14 seasons to the Rams. Of course, the first game on the Rams schedule tomorrow at Bakersfield Christian High School at 7:30. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have the cheer squad send us out. Send us out really quick. Throw us back to Carrie.
Thanks, Josh, for that. Sounds like you guys are having fun out there. Well, of course, there's a lot of fun to be had here. And when we come back, we're going to be checking on the Southeast Yosemite League. A lot of competition in that league, so we're going to have a lot of action. But taking us out of break, we're going to toss it over to the Highland Scott cheerleaders. Look out for these ladies on the sidelines this season. Welcome back to our high school football kickoff show. We have a lot of action and we have a little spirit behind us too. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Southeast Yosemite League next, which came down to the wire a season ago with the East Bakersfield Blades taking home the title. But it looks like this next season it's going to be another battle in the SEYL, and Matt is standing by with some more attention to give the Southeast Yosemite League. Hey, Matt.
Yeah, you nailed it, Carrie. You're about to hear from a coach in our preview of the SEYL who thinks that this league is just consistently getting better. You have two coaches entering their second season, a brand new coach who's looking to continue success with the East High Blades, and then you have a coach like Michael Gutierrez, the whole Highland Scots team behind me, who have had quite a bit of success in the last few seasons. North High is coming off a 7-5 season with a second-place SEYL finish. The Stars lost lots of offensive production via graduation and will have to depend on younger players. Head coach Norm Brown knows that their game will have to step up as football in Kern County is only getting better.
Every week it's a battle. You know, our league now is better than it ever was 5 years ago. You look at Foothill and Miramonte and they have improved, and that's really impressive. It makes everybody better.
The Foothill Trojans are in search of a much-desired victory as they get settled in with a familiar coaching staff coming off a winless season. And senior lineman Eli Provencio thinks the Trojans could reflect an NFL team, the Cleveland Browns, believing they can go from nothing to something in a short time.
These guys can do it in a matter of 2 years. I mean, maybe we can do it this year. You know, kind of get some confidence off of that, seeing the pros do it. Just trying to do whatever we can. More build a brotherhood, than really get a win. But we're still hungry for that win. We want it bad.
Miramonte is coming off a season where the Lions went 3-7, ending their season with a 42-17 win over Foothill. They hope to use that late victory to propel them into this year. And lucky for the Lions, they will be returning their top running back, Shamar Oliver, who rushed for 7 touchdowns in 6 games before being sidelined with an injury.
I want to let everybody know that this year I'm really going to ball out. The offense is going to pick it up a notch to the point where we're going to be making touchdowns left and right.
East Bakersfield High comes off a losing season, but one where they finished first in the SEYL with a 4-1 league play record. The program welcomes in Coach Casey Tillmeyer, who comes as an assistant from Centennial. Tillmeyer was hired in June and is still getting footing on the ground with players, but hopes his arrival will impact them in the long run.
You know, we need more of that because we need kids to, you know, leadership's got to come within too. You know, coaches are doing their part as well, but it's also got to come within.
Now heading down to South High School. The Rebels were 6-5 last season, where they narrowly lost in the first round of the CIF D3 championships. With just a few upperclassmen, head coach Kerry Mills thinks each senior will carry weight on their shoulders as the team looks to stay on top of the league.
I got a big role to play this year because it's my last year, and there was a lot of seniors. Now we don't got as many, so I got to step up a little bit. I want us to get a ring this year. It's ring season this year, baby.
Highland High enters 2019 as a perennial postseason threat. They have gone to the CIF D3 playoffs every year since 2014 when Michael Gutierrez took over. The Scots have many returners they will look to put to work. Their no-huddle spread offense allows for them to use multiple QBs, meaning the rest of the offense must stay quick and in shape.
To be very conditioned because, you know, we're a spread offense, we're all over the field. And it's just go, go, go. Sometimes we don't even have breaks, we don't have huddles, so like we condition like that on the field or at practice as well.
And now I am joined here by those Highland Scots. And guys, are you ready for tomorrow? Yeah. All right, they sound ready. We've got head coach Michael Gutierrez. And coach, you've had so much success since coming into this league. What do you credit that to?
Some of it I give to just that first senior class we had. They did a great job of just buying in, and then each year we've had great young men that just give everything they have to our program, and then we have great coaching staff and great admin support that's really helped us be very successful.
And so you credit that old senior class, but what about your current one and just your current team in general? What are you guys looking forward to most this season?
I'm just looking forward to how we keep building as a team. They've done a great job of just bonding and getting close. They work hard every day, and we always say our goal is to get better every single day, and they've done a great job of doing that throughout fall camp, and we're really excited to see where it takes us this season.
And now I am joined by two of their players, AJ and Shabazz. And guys, you've seen Coach Gutierrez has had so much success since coming into the league. He started in 2014, and he's made the playoffs every single season. What's it like coming into a year where you basically know we're going to play in the playoffs?
It feels good, honestly, that we just do our thing at practice, and we practice hard. We practice how we play, and so we just sprint as hard as we can. We play as hard as we can, and we're just successful in that way.
And you guys have a spread offense. It's quick. How do you, as the leader of that offense, control that?
I control it by just doing my job and just making sure everyone's doing their jobs, basically. So, like, I am in control of the line and then everyone else. And so that's just how we just run our offense based off of that.
And Shabazz, I mean, you guys were really good overall record last year. Not the best record that came out of the league. So how do you and want to get better this season?
Honestly, as long as we build as a team, come together, push hard every practice, you know, every team's goal, you know, is to have a good record, you know, win league, keep going. I feel give our 100% at practice, and we'll do that.
And this lucky green, I think they're going to have some luck this season. Back to you, Carrie.
Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you to the Highland Scots, not only the team, but the cheerleaders joining us here. And we know that Highland baseball had some success in 2018, so maybe we're seeing some success on the football field from Highland as well. But coming up next, we have one league left, and that is going to be the South Yosemite League. A lot of consistency at the top of that league, maybe some changes this next year with new coaches. Well, taking us out to break, we have some Ridgeview cheerleaders, and we're going to let them show us their spirit heading into this break. Welcome back to the Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. Our final league in the county is the South Yosemite League. And of course, it's seen some consistency at the top, and that would be because of Bakersfield Christian Eagles. But there is a lot of talent in this league, and of course, some new faces at head coaching positions for two of our teams. And we're going to have to take a look at the South Yosemite League. Here you go.
One of two teams featuring a new head coach in the South Yosemite League is Golden Valley. Not only is James Kane a fresh face for the Bulldogs, but he's also taking over his first head coaching gig. Following a stint on the coaching staff at East Bakersfield, Kane is eager to start his head coaching career with a team that's hungry for some wins in 2019.
Here's an opportunity for myself as a coach on a personal level to prove that I can do this. Here's an opportunity for some guys that deserve a chance. Kids that deserve a chance of, you know, a coach that comes in and believes and wants to work with them, not against them, and kind of push them to be the best they can be.
The Warriors, on the other hand, are entering year 3 under head coach Doug DeGreer, who hasn't been able to match the success Tehachapi had in his first season, but 2019 is about rebuilding from 2018's adversity.
I'm just kind of simplifying some things. We're kind of looking to scale things back a little bit and just get good at the little things and focus on a few things instead of trying to be too complex and do too much. Just play fundamental football.
The West Vikings overcame some odds last season to finish 4th in the SYL with an even 6-6 overall record. Coach Derek Dunham returns for his 22nd year of coaching and is counting on senior leadership with a young team, as well as hopeful for the return of offensive weapon Leowona Laulu.
I'm ready to get back and just start working hard, you know, I miss being out there on the field with my brothers. We have a little bit less people than we had previous years, so everybody just has to be out there working 110%.
Over at Independence, Tyler Shahabel has been trying to create a new culture at his alma mater. With a year under his belt at the helm and bought-in players, the Falcons believe a shift in mindset will bring them more potential in the new season.
Previous years, we haven't had, good showings of how we act. We want to change that. We want to show who we really are, what we can really be.
A lot of guys coming up and going to see where they fit in best, and I feel like just motivating them, coming out here every day, teaching them the best that I can, and we're going to be great.
The leader of the South Yosemite League, Bakersfield Christian, is looking to repeat in 2019. Darren Carr has kept the Eagles undefeated in league play since taking over as head coach, and he'll rely on returning talent like Stanford commit Ben Urasic.
I'm leaving it all on the field this year, I feel like my last 3 years I've done the same, but especially this year, you have to leave a legacy for the people below you, for the classes below you, show them what it is to be an Eagle at Bakersfield Christian.
Wrapping up the SYL is Ridgeview, who has a new leader of the pack in 2019, Rich Cornford. While Dennis Manning stays on staff, the Wolfpack will look to that continued chemistry to trickle down to the players, despite losing some talent to graduation.
It's kind of upsetting that we did lose a couple of star players, but we still work our butts off. It doesn't matter if we lose one person, two people, and nothing's gonna change. We just strive to get better.
But just everybody just being on the same page and getting work done, having a good record. That's about it, yeah.
Ridgeview, of course, has been a top contender in this league for a while, but they're bringing in a new head coach in Rich Cornford, but not new to head coaching because you've had some experience in this county already, Coach. But tell me about keeping Dennis Manning on staff. He was the coach just a year ago, and you're taking over for him, but you get to keep him as a coordinator. What has that chemistry been like to maintain in this offseason?
Well, it's been great to have an assistant coach that has over 100 wins as a varsity coach and multiple Valley championships and league championships. We talk every day, and sometimes we have different ideas, and he helps sharpen me. So it's great to have him, Steve Tucker, Ricky Carter, the other coaches that have been on his staff forever, and that continuity is going to be really key this year.
And what have you seen from the Wolfpack this year that you're excited about and the guys that you're getting?
Well, we've got a lot of speed, a lot of athleticism, a lot of guys that really have fun playing football, and that's the best way to be.
All right, well, going over to your players here, so I got to ask you for your perspective here. So you have a new head coach, but you get to see your old head coach on the staff. What has that been like for you as you get the same kind of experience heading into 2019 with the coaching staff?
I feel like it's been really well, and, it's helping us a lot. We're learning a lot of new things coming from, like, a new coach, but we still learn a lot of old things from our old coaches, and, having both of them as one makes us, like, a really good coaching staff and helping us with a lot. If we make any mistakes, they're there to help us with everything we need to do, and they got us for everything.
Awesome. And really quick, thank you, Vincent. We're going to turn over to Richard. So what expectations do you have for the Wolfpack? Obviously, guys, you want to make it to postseason like you do, but what do you hope to see this team do this year?
I hope to take it all the way to Valley, finally get a ring, and show out for the seniors this year.
Awesome. Well, I feel like it's in the cards. We want to say thank you to the Ridgeview Wolfpack for joining us today for the show. But of course, we've been through all of our leagues, but we are missing out on some outlier teams, and we're going to take a look at those teams coming up next with a little bit more to give you guys. But right now, we're going to send it to break with the Kennedy Thunderbird Band. They're giving us a lot of action right now. I can hear it. Welcome back to the Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. We are making our way through this, and we've already made it through our leagues. But of course, we have some outlier teams, and we're going to start it off with the Delano Tigers up in the East Yosemite League. So up in Delano, after an underwhelming 3-7 season, the Tigers switched things up and hired J.D. Thompson, who spent the last 23 years coaching in Southern California. Thompson brings a new mindset and new options, and he has big scoring plans, which includes switching to a spread offense, and that means the quarterback battle has been a tough one.
We're still competing. So we have two guys who have been working really hard. They're in a pretty good dead heat, and we're hoping to kind of finalize that here in camp. A running team consistently to a team that wants to spread it out a little bit more, throw the ball a little bit more. I think the nuances of the passing game have kind of been the slowest to come, but we have a lot of tools and skill guys to work with.
Having a new coach always mixes things up, and of course he is our 7th coach in the county to be a new head coach this year for a new team, so that's been exciting, Matt, but maybe not as exciting as those late night practices like the Kern Valley Broncs like to have.
Yeah, the Broncs, they are a midnight practice team, so let's go to the High Desert League. The Kern Valley Broncs are different for a few reasons from other Kern County high schools. For one, they're located well outside of Bakersfield, and they are made up of much fewer kids. But that doesn't stop the spirit of a team that went just 2-8 in 2018. According to senior defensive end Ken Porter, it makes them a bit hungrier.
It's not just that we want to get a better record. Of course we want to get a better record. We want to compete. We want to show the bigger schools that we play against that we're not just some small school. We're not just a knockdown. We're not another tally on the record. We want to leave an impression, even if that means not winning.
And Carrie, we're out here with all these high schools, but we don't want to forget our college team in town, the Bakersfield Renegades. They're looking to have a very good season, and it's going to happen on some brand new turf.
A new turf that's also going to be poised to host a state championship at the end of the year. But our Mike Hart, he sat down with head coach Jeff Chudy to talk about the secret weapon off the field, as well as a man that brought Chudy 30 years ago to BC.
Jeff Chudy starting his 15th season as head coach of the BC Renegades. First of all, let's begin with the field and the new look out there. Wasn't it just 5 years ago that we replaced the turf out here?
The surface itself, the natural grass, although it sounds pretty simple that you would think that it just needed a little bit of water, there's a little bit more science behind it all. But the playing surface itself, you know, from a student safety standpoint, wow, couldn't have a better product. Field turf, top of the line stuff. You're looking at the same exact surface as what's in the Gillette Stadium with the Patriots. It really cleans up the stadium. I mean, the stadium looks like it's 5 years old now. We're not allowed to get on the field right now for a while, so I guess whenever they tell us we're able to go. But it'll be ready by September 7th, and hopefully we'll have a few days to get on it and break it in a little bit, and I'm sure we will. So we've made it to bowl games, I don't know, last 4 or 5 years in a row, and I know the last 3 years we've kind of made it limping into the last game.
Okay.
A lot of injuries, depth problems, and those kind of things. I think you look at this year's team right now, knock on wood, we have depth that we haven't had in a while in a lot of positions, so that's going to help us out. All these guys have done a really good job, not just in the weight room and what we expect them to do, but also in the classroom. Guys that are trustworthy, accountable, have high character, that make that locker room a place where guys want to go in and sit down and you enjoy the teammate, the guy sitting next to you, and that's a huge thing.
Carl Bowser bringing you here in 1992.
Coach Bowser, what a guy. His toughness, from a mental toughness standpoint, was truly amazing, and that's another big part of this Bakersfield College history that helps us out in the long run.
All right, very good. Best of luck to you this season.
Thank you.
On the new field, the new turf. Let's get it broken in properly. What do you say?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thanks to Mike and Jeff Chudy. They're always having fun. But of course, the Renegades kick off their season September 7th against rival Mount Sac. And this guy, you'll probably see him on the sideline.
Catch me on the sideline Saturdays. We're going to go live at those home games. I'm really excited.
Yeah, guys, when we return, we're going to be looking at the weather to see what it's going to be like this Friday. It wasn't too good last year, but maybe it's better this year. And taking us out to break, we're looking at those cheerleaders one last time. Welcome back to our high school football kickoff show. Of course, here in Bakersfield, we're always hoping for good weather for those football nights. And we're going to be joined right now live with our meteorologist, Allison Gargaro, who's going to tell us what we're looking at temperature-wise for this upcoming Friday.
Well, Carrie, temperatures are going to be warming up as we head into Friday, but if you can believe it, not going to be quite as hot as what we were feeling this time last year. So in 2018, if you remember, games were delayed, pushed back until after sunset. They had a high of 101 degrees with an AQI of 115 tomorrow. We are going to have another day of air quality that is unhealthy for sensitive groups with a forecasted high of 100 degrees, but by the time those games starts at 7:30, temperatures still going to be warm in those 90s, so make sure that you are staying hydrated. Back to you, Carrie.
Thank you, Allison, for that. And of course, we're not the only ones excited for high school football. The players are too. And we took some time to give you a taste of what the players are saying about the 2019 football season. Take a look.
August 23rd, game first against East. That's what I'm ready for.
It'll be amazing. Great feeling. Gives me goosebumps already. We want to make it to stay. I mean, we want to get this running as far as we can.
Just stay tuned and see what we got in store for everybody.
That's the game I'm waiting for. August 23rd. That's the night.
To come back here on the field, just feeling the turf, putting on the cleats.
Things that look different on TV, but we will still be that Liberty team.
I'm just ready. I'm just ready for the season.
These next 10 games are the only games I'm guaranteed right now.
Can't come any faster.
We're going to be making touchdowns left and right.
I want to go all the way. I mean, I don't know what football player wouldn't want to play that Friday night in the championship game.
There's nothing like Friday Night Lights coming out.
Yeah, I got a lot of big things to do this year, so.
Technically my first varsity start, and it's exciting. I can't wait, honestly.
Just to make it simple, I don't want to get stopped.
We want to show them that we're for real and that last year wasn't a fluke.
1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Vikings! This is fun.
Matt, doesn't that get you excited and ready for some football?
I want to run through a brick wall right now.
We all do. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks to our cheerleaders, our bands, our players, our coaches. We have had a blast. I'm Carrie Ossett for Matt Lively. This was the Friday Night Live High School Football Kickoff Show. And guys, send us out.